A running track with a hard surface makes for greater running speed than a soft one, at least under dry conditions, because even though step length is shorter on a hard surface, the time the runner's foot remains in contact with the running surface is less with the hard surface. And then the question stem was kind of weird. Like, which one of the following, if true, is evidence that the explanation given above is only a partial one? Like, is that really a weekend question? It just feels weird.
Yeah, I think it fits best into the weekend. I don't know what other category I would fit it into, but I don't think it's typical.
Okay.
But okay, so let me start. I have to read this one again. So like a running track with a hard surface makes for greater running speed than a soft one, at least under dry conditions, because even though step length is shorter on a hard surface, the time the runner's foot remains in contact with the running surface is less with okay. So our conclusion is a running track with a hard surface is a greater running speed than a soft one, at least in dry conditions, because our step length is shorter. Okay, so we're trying to say that this is only a partial explanation. And so for this one, I'm wondering if like, are we trying to weaken the idea that this is at least my thought process, because I've never done this question before, is are we trying to say that that running on a track with a hard surface isn't greater than a soft one? Or are we trying to say that the explanation that we give of the idea that like the step length is shorter isn't like enough to support this? And so I would go in with that mindset of like, okay, I think that this, me personally, I think it could go either way. And so I would be open to both possibilities.
Okay.
How did you take it?
I like just being in the weekend mindset. I was looking for like something that would, weaken
Weaken the
like,
conclusion.
yeah, like weaken the
That's
conclusion.
where I could see this one potentially being like tricky, especially because it like, I wonder if you would have been as like adamant on that if it was in the weekend section of this document. But
Yeah,
but it also could be true that we're weakening the conclusion. I just feel like we're trying to weaken that the explanation is only a partial one. So I feel like this question explanation is less about the conclusion and it's more about like us not explaining the reason behind it enough.
right. Like how the argument doesn't like fit together, or like, yeah, it's not complete. Okay, yeah, I think with that mindset, I would like to try it again and see if
All
it.
right, so go ahead and read A.
Cool. Dry running conditions can be guaranteed for indoor track races only. And that, like, we don't know if this is outdoor or indoor.
I don't think that even matters.
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
That's just saying like, hey, this is a thing.
Right. Agreed. Okay. So in general, taller runners have a greater average step length than shorter runners do. Um, hmm. I I guess that could help, because like that would help us explain a little bit more about like step length if we know like the height of the runners.
Okay, but what is our conclusion?
See, I don't know.
Oh, our conclusion is a running track with a harder surface makes for greater running speed than a soft one.
Okay, so that's the conclusion.
Yes.
So I was like,
At least under dry conditions.
like, is this just premises? Like,
Yeah. So the reason that I don't love B is because our conclusion can still be true, but taller runners could still just be faster.
uh-huh.
Like I guess what this is saying is like taller runners on a harder track are faster than taller runners on a softer track.
Right.
Or we could say shorter runners are faster on a harder surface than shorter runners not on a harder surface. Like we're not comparing hard surface to height.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
So
that's a good.
that's why I don't like B.
I can see that, absolutely. All right. So hard tracks enhance a runner's speed by making it easier for the runner to maintain a posture that minimizes wind resistance. Well, that would definitely help our argument.
Yeah, I liked it. And is this like an alternative explanation for why hard surfaces are good?
Right. And so I think that's where I got thrown off, because I was like, weaken, 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 like this strengthens.
Yeah,
So
I could see that.
I think maybe like it was a question stem problem, perhaps.
No, I can see that absolutely. And then what about D or E?
The tracks at which the world's fastest running times have been recorded are located well above sea level, doesn't matter. No to D. To remain in top condition, a soft track surface requires different maintenance. Also, like maintenance has nothing to do with.
Yeah, like we don't like that might be a reason why we don't want it or something, but that's not going to
Right.
explain that they're not faster.
Right.
Fabulous.